Hey, welcome back. I have an interesting bike on the lift today. It is a 1956 Ariel HT trials bike, and it's been modified in many ways, just like Sammy Miller did, but it weighs 20 pounds more than Sammy Miller, but still a beautiful bike. The customer dropped it off. He had some issues and he just wants to go through it. And I'll show you what those issues are. One of the first issues is he couldn't move the advanced retard cable. Now it is a bit tight right here. He is looking for the proper plate here so it can come out this way. But anyway, in the end, it turns out it was the cam ring that was stuck. I had to use a fair bit of heat and a screwdriver that was bent, specially made, and a sliding hammer, and I got it out. It's all cleaned up now. Well, and I lie. Oh, there it is. There you go. So that would be full advanced and retard. And we'll just go around to the other side. So the owner was complaining that the motor is fairly noisy. Now with these motors here, the alloy motors, whether it's the VHA road version or the HS or HT or the earlier competition models, they're alloy and they do amplify a bit of top end noise. That's natural because if you haven't ridden one, you'll never know, but this one apparently was making a fair bit of noise, and we had discovered why. So basically what was happening is when you kick the motor over, you hear a loud clang, and you can see here the intake side, that little ball that rides right in there, well, it would come down here and get stuck, and then under pressure it'd go clang onto the cam. So I took it out, we cleaned it up, put it back, and it still did it. So I end up taking the top off to get the push rod out, and I'll try to give you a summary. So what happens is there are some push rods that have a slightly larger ball here. And this is a spare one to my VHA, my 500, and it fits correctly. And I'll try to show you that right now. The problem was, the original push rod, this ball end was maybe 5 or 10 thou, somewhere in there. I don't really know, but it was enough that it wouldn't allow this to go all the way down. So even with my hand, I could jam it. So you can imagine under the pressure of a valve spring, it would force that in there and lock it. And then the follower, it can't move, and when it did, it hit the cam with a loud bang. And hopefully with this mod now, it does this and the bike will run a lot quieter. The only other item I got left is when I install the cam and I got the gasket. I had to order gaskets. I thought I had some spares, but I've used them on another gentleman's bike. I just got to check the end play, and I can't do that until I get the gasket. Here is the gas tank, fiberglass, and it has been coated on the inside with Caswell. And it's got nice alloy front end. It's not the Ariel leader type that Sammy Miller used. Cerani forks, stainless steel fenders. Everything here is a kit, or they've had it made. We got NJB shocks. Everything on this bike is made to reduce weight. And the only thing they didn't do, they would have probably liked to gone to alloy rims, but you know what? These look really nice. And they've taken it down to 220 pounds. And as I mentioned, Sammy Miller's, I believe it was about 200 pounds. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this back on right now. And then I will give you an update once I get it all back together. And I'll just finish up. That one's good and tight. These will settle after a bit. On my VHA here, I use aluminum gaskets with a bit of sealant. Well, it is a cool morning. It's about 40 degrees. Just the other day, it was 65. What happened? Anyway, we are making progress on the HT5 here, and I'll give you a quick rundown where we're at, and we should have the bike almost finished today. Well, I made some progress. I did find in my stash the timing cover gasket. I thought I was out. I've got the, it's all timed to about 1/2 inch before top dead center. I just got to put the oil lines back on, check the oil level in the gearbox, check the valve clearances, tire pressure. Everything's been adjusted, so it's pretty ready to go. Get that timing cover on, and maybe today or tomorrow I'll get it fired up. Top one is the feed line. Just going to leave that a little loose. I have to add oil, so I'll allow the oil to run down into here. Hands are a little slippery. There we go. The other way to do it too, I can loosen off the oil pump and just allow the oil to flow out there, which I will probably do actually. I do that when I have the tank off my VHA, which by the way is not very often. These are really sharp looking motors, and there's a bit of a story behind that. And most people today, when they look at the bike, whether it's this motor here or the VHA, they always comment how beautiful the motor looks. And really it is. You get the timing cover on, my VHA, same design. So the story behind this, my VHA, the road version, it was based on the VCH competition models, and Ariel introduced the VHA to the road in 1952. And BSA, as you know, owned Ariel, and to be honest, there was no love lost between Ariel workers and the BSA Corporation. BSA had the Gold Star. This motor in the VHA and later the HS, you can make these go, and they compete against the Gold Stars pretty good. Well, apparently executives at the BSA didn't like the looks of this motor for road going because it competed with their Gold Star. 1953 was the last year for the VHA. In 54, on the road going, they called the VH, they put a black cast iron barrel. Took away the whole look of the motor. It's still a good motor, cast iron. Now the cast iron does quieten up the motor a fair bit. These are noisy motors, but it's pretty interesting how jealous BSA was of this motor. One other issue the owner was complaining about: when he pulled in the clutch, he put it into gear, it would clang and stall. And although it seemed the clutch plates were free, I just pulled them out And there's about 3 of them. They're all stuck together and fairly rusty, so they're all going to need a good rub down. And we'll go from there. This is the only one that's actually not bad. So in the meantime, yeah, I think that's half the problem. Anyway, I'll get back to the video once I get everything all cleaned up here. What is the next day? I got the clutch plates all cleaned up. I had them soaking overnight in Evaporust. Then I took emery cloth, I cleaned them up, they're all in, and everything is working good now. So I'm going to lower this, we're going to wheel it outside, and we're going to go for a little ride. And you're going to hear this bike run, which sounds really good. Should be fun. I'll see you outside. All right, let's see if we can get the old girl fired up here. So I got about half advanced. That's not bad. First kick. All right, let's go see what if I can be a Sammy Miller. So Sammy Miller, well, he won 11 British champions in the 6-day trials. Now I'm no trials expert. I used to ride trials, but this is really nice. It's nice to ride a nice classic, and Ariel singles have a lot of pulling power. And there we go. Sammy Miller, I am not, but I can understand why he won so many trials with this bike. It is really nice. And the gentleman and his dad that did this bike did a really nice job doing a Sammy Miller replica. So, until next time, I hope you enjoy what you see. And thanks for watching. If you're not riding them, you're hiding them. We'll see you in the next video.